Peter Joemel Advincula alias Bikoy, hospitalized due to chest pains and headaches. The Philippine National Police considers Bikoy a witness as they investigate his ouster plot allegations. Various government agencies prepare for the onset of the rainy season. And UK Prime Minister Theresa May to resign amid Brexit pressure. Good evening. The Philippine National Police is set to investigate into the new accusations made by Peter Joemel Advincula, the man who publicly introduces himself as Alias Bikoy. The police says it is possible for him to be a witness in the issue. Nina Armilio will tell us why.
Peter Joemel Advincula cannot stay in Camp Crame after posting bail for his estafa case in Baguio City. This was according to Philippine National Police or PNP Chief Police General Oscar Albayalde after Advincula, who claims to be Alias Bikoy of the video series Ang Totoong Narco List, requested to stay under the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group or CIDG for his security. General Albayalde said they have no facility to accommodate Advincula.
Wala kaming facility, not unless of course meron siyang kaso at ikulong siya at may utos ang korte na ikulong siya sa custodial facility namin. Pero wala po kaming tao na kailanman na kinupkup dito at binigyan ng proteksyon dito mismo sa loob ng kampo.
The PNP chief added they have yet to validate Advincula's claim that he is under threat. The PNP also assured to thoroughly investigate into Advincula's statements, not only his accusations when he surrendered on May 22, but also his previous allegations that some members of the First Family and personalities close to the president are involved in the drug trade. Advincula alleges that Senator Antonio Trillanes IV and the Liberal Party orchestrated the Ang Totoong Narco List videos. According to the PNP, it is possible for Advincula to become a witness.
Hindi naman natin iaalis ang posibilidad na kapag ang mga ebidensya ay talagang matibay at meron tayong kasong maisasampa at mag-a-apply itong si Alias Bikoy bilang isang witness, hindi natin maiaalis ang posibilidad maaaring maging witness nga siya. Talagang kailangan na maging witness siya dahil siya po yung nag-aakusa nito sa mga pinangalanan niyang mga personalidad.
For his part, former PNP chief and now Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa is in favor of scrutinizing the truth behind Advincula's allegations.
Hindi ko sinasabi na paniwalaan niyo si Bikoy kasi ako mismo walang credibility sa akin yung tao niyan. Pero kung ikaw ay mag-investigate ng isang kaso, huwag mong ilalamp up lahat ng investigation. Pag-engage ni Bikoy sa Bucor noon, ibang investigasyon yon. Pag-engage ni Bikoy dito sa paggawa niya ng video series, dapat ibang investigation yun.
Meanwhile, PNP Chief Albayalde confirms that Advincula was in hospital this morning because of dizziness and chest pain as his blood pressure went up. Nina Armilio, UNTV, News and Rescue.
Some senators are still not convinced to pursue the probe on the new allegations of Peter Joemel Advincula alias Bikoy. But for a political analyst, there may be a different scenario as a new Congress is about to begin with a new batch of senators. Nel Maribohok will tell us why.
The chairperson of the Senate Committee on Public Order and Dangerous Drugs, Senator Panfilo Lacson, still has no plans to pursue the probe on the allegations of Peter Joemel Advincula alias Bikoy, particularly after Bikoy's flip-flopping of statements in which he pointed his fingers to Senators Antonio Trillanes IV, Risa Ontiveros, and the Liberal Party as the alleged mastermind of the anti-Duterte videos entitled Ang Totoong Narco List. On his Twitter post, the senator describes Bikoy as someone with a unique talent that can divide the world with the flip of his tongue. From the Integrated Bar of the Philippines or IBP to the Philippine National Police or PNP, he completed a successful Yellow versus DDS dry run. With his flip-flopping lies, he's on a roll. Senator Sherwin Gatchalian agrees with Senator Lacson, saying it's better not to continue the investigation regarding Bikoy's new allegations. The senator points out that strong evidence is needed before the upper chamber expenses its time and funds for the hearing despite the cold treatment of the senators to the issue. According to political analyst Ramon Casiple, the scenarios may be different upon the entry of the 18th Congress with a new batch of senators, where issues and controversies may open up specifically about neophyte senators who are included in Advincula's accusations. In particular is the issue involving Senator-elect Christopher Bongo, who is accused on the Bikoy videos of being involved in the drug trade. Senator Trillanes is now alleged as the mastermind of the videos. There is now a possibility that in the 18th Congress, Go may subpoena Trillanes to a hearing.
Baka ang usapin pa dyan, you have the numbers and they are in a position mag-conduct ng hearings. They may want to use that para balikan yung mga nangyari sa kanila before na sila yung pinatawag.
The change of chairmanship in the Senate is imminent. Senator Lacson has already stated that he is ready to give up his committee to Senator-elect Ronald Bato de la Rosa. It is still uncertain if Senator Richard Gordon will remain as the chairman of the Blue Ribbon Committee. Nel Maribuho, UNTV News and Rescue, Senate of the Philippines.
Peter Joemel Advincula alias Bikoy has appeared before the public twice, and in these two instances, he made contradicting statements. What is the effect of his public appearance on some politicians and government agencies? Find out as Rosalie Cos reports.
5 episodes of the Ang Totoong Narcolis have appeared on social media websites accusing some relatives of President Rodrigo Duterte to be involved in illegal drug operations in the country. Peter Joemel Advincula, who claims to be the man named Elias Bikoy, wearing a hoodie on the videos, had made 2 public appearances. The first time was in the Integrated Bar of the Philippines or IBP before the 2019 midterm elections.
Wala din akong kaugnayan sa kaninong kandidato, lalo na sa mga kandidato ng otso, derecho o anumang political party o political affiliation.
His second public appearance was on Wednesday when he surrendered before the Philippine National Police right after the proclamation of winners in the midterm elections. During his surrender, he also accused some personalities belonging to the opposition Liberal Party to be allegedly behind the Ang Totoong Narcolis video series, which aims to oust President Duterte and replace him with another.
Walang katotohanan, lahat-lahat yun. At yun pawang orchestrated lamang ng mga nasa kabilang parte, which is the Liberal Party under the handling of Senator Antonio Sani Trillanes IV. Hindi lang nakausap, ilang beses kami nagpupulong, nagpaplano upang isakatuparan ang Project Sodoma. Dahil kapag napabagsak si Presidente Duterte, ang upo duly constitutionalized the Vice President of the Republic of the Philippines, Her Excellency Leni Robredo. And the Vice President will appoint from the Senate or from the House a certain congressman or senator to be the Vice President. And Sani will be the line to become the Vice President. Yun ang pinakaplano ng Ang Totoong Narcolis.
With Bikoy's retraction, critics, politicians, as well as the administration also have made confusing statements. Senator Panfilo Lacson had planned to conduct a Senate investigation on Bikoy's initial allegations. However, he canceled it after Senate President Tito Soto III had questioned the credibility of Bikoy. Malacanang also said Bikoy's credibility is tarnished.
Ang problema kasi, sirang-sira na itong si Bikoy. Bikoy parang, yung pangalan niya parang parang pagkain. Plus, ang kredibilidad niya napaka bagsak. Convicted pala siya. Tapos marami pang kaso. We'll have to wait for Bikoy or Advincula to substantiate his charges. Then after that, let's see. If there are charges to be filed in court, then the truth will come out. As I said repeatedly, no matter how you close, you cover, truth will always come out.
Initially, the Philippine National Police revealed Bikoy as an information peddler and is involved in large-scale illegal recruitment. But when Advincula submitted himself to the authorities recently, the PNP mentioned the possibility of giving him assistance.
lumalabas na itong tao na to na he was convicted for large-scale illegal recruitment, and he was sentenced to serve term for 6 years. After posting bail, probably he can go. He's a free man after posting bail. Bailable naman kasi yung kaso niya. But if he will ask assistance from us, of course, as an ordinary citizen, we are mandated to assist kahit sino man po sa ating mga kababayan ang lalapit sa atin.
The National Bureau of Investigation is also doubtful about Bikoy's integrity.
Highly questionable yung integrity niya kasi when you lie, when you are lying all your life and scamming all your life, walang credibility on your allegations eh.
Opposition Senator Antonio Trillanes IV once congratulated those behind the Bikoy videos. He said the witnesses' allegations are serious and well explained, and that he hoped he had been part of the making of the videos. He also said he looked forward to the next episodes. But when Bikoy accused him of being behind the videos, he denied vehemently. Meanwhile, former top presidential aide Bongo removed his shirt before the public to prove he has no dragon tattoo on his back.
At papakita ko sa inyo. Ano?
If Advincula gave contradictory statements, he has the same single reason of facing the public twice: his conscience.
Nagdesisyon akong lumabas dahil, una, mayroong banta sa aking buhay. Ikalawa, tawag ng konsensya. Nakikita ko ang pagwasak ng pamilya na dulot ng droga, na kung saan naging bahagi ako sa pagpapakalat nito noong membro pa ako ng sindikato. Panahon na upang puksain ang pamapayagpag ng sindikato nito.
Kahit paano po may konsensya pa rin ako. Hindi ko po kaya na panindigan yung mga scripted lang na kwento na ngayong talo na yung mga kandidato nila, nararamdaman ko unti-unti na akong nilalaglag. Dahil wala na akong silbi. Wala na akong silbi sa kanila.
For President Duterte, he has once told the public not to believe Bikoy.
Pero suway lang ko. Kung gusto ka, basig tulog ko, pukawa lang ko. Pagbigyan ta mo. Ay mo pagtuan ng mga actually kanang Bikoy magdalo na o kanang 8 diretso production na ni Trillanes.
Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Theresa May has said she will quit as conservative leader on the 7th of June, paving the way for a contest to decide a new prime minister. In an emotional statement in Downing Street, Mrs. May said she had done my best to honor the 2016 EU referendum result. May said she will continue to serve as prime minister while a conservative leadership contest takes place. She will step down as Tory leader on the 7th of June, and the leadership contest is due to begin the following week.
Our politics may be under strain, but there is so much that is good about this country, so much to be proud of, so much to be optimistic about. I will shortly leave the job that it has been the honour of my life to hold. The second female Prime Minister, but certainly not the last. I do so with no ill will, but with enormous and enduring gratitude to have had the opportunity to serve the country I love.
Some government agencies have been preparing for the onset of the rainy season, which is forecast to begin in June. Ray Pelayo will tell us why.
Frequent heavy rains are now being experienced in different parts of the country. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration or PAGASA said the southwest monsoon is expected in the second week of June, which will indicate the beginning of the rainy season.
Itong mga pagulan natin sa hapon hanggang sa madaling araw, indikasyon naman ito na papalapit na talaga tayo sa tag-ulan. Ito yung tinatawag na transition period o yung pagitan ng tag-araw at saka tag-ulan.
The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA is already cleaning this creek in the part of the East Avenue in Quezon City for the preparation of the onset of the rainy season. Water in the creek has been overflowing due to the recent heavy rainfall, and debris must be removed to avoid flooding. The MMDA said the creek in Araneta Avenue is one of the most vulnerable to flooding due to the overflowing of the San Juan River.
Kasama yan sa World Bank project eh. Yung construction ng dike dyan, tapos construction ng additional pumping stations.
The MMDA added that 62 pumping stations are ready in case heavy rains come. The Department of Agriculture is also preparing to assist farmers for the cropping season.
Naka-preposition na yung mga pinili natin. Ready for release. In fact, ang iba, nakarelease na nga ng mga pinili.
The National Irrigation Administration said around 200,000 hectares of rice farms are expected to be planted in the coming season and about 800,000 hectares in the next months. Ray Pilayo, UNTV, News and Rescue, Quezon City.
The Philippine Rice Research Institute and a private company introduced a multi-purpose drone spreader in Nueva Ecija. This amid the drop in the number of farm workers in the country. Vincent Arboleda will tell us why.
With the aim to contribute in the modernization of the agriculture industry in the Philippines, a private company introduced a modern multi-purpose drone spreader to local farmers and stakeholders at the Philippine Rice Research Institute or PhilRice compound in the Science City of Muñoz, Nueva Ecija yesterday. New Hope Group's MG1P series multi-purpose drone spreader can contain up to 10 liters of liquid fertilizers and herbicides. It can spread up to 20 kilograms of palay seedlings for every hectare of rice field. It can also be used in feeding fish and fish ponds. One remote control can make 5 drones fly simultaneously, which makes a farmer's work of spreading seedlings more efficient. What used to be a 1.5-hour job can take only 7 minutes using this drone.
We hope this technology could bring many changes in the agriculture industry in Philippines.
According to PhilRice Deputy Director Abner Montecalvo, this equipment is beneficial especially when working on a vast land area with a very minimal number of farm workers.
Unang-una talaga, kukunti na lang yung ating mga laborers sa bukid. So, kailangan talaga tayo mag-mechanize na. At isa ito sa mga mechanization na nakita natin na magagamit sa ating mga magsasaka, lalo sa mga areas na malalapan.
The drone can also detect pests on palay and damages on the rice fields. The company continues to improve their services by making the machine more affordable for Filipino farmers.
Convincing po ito, especially kung ito ay magiging kapresyo ng regular labor cost natin sa common farmers, palagi ko maraming mag-a-adapt.
Based on New Hope Group's records, their drone technology has been used on as much as 8.6 million hectares of rice field in Southeast Asian countries, including Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, the USA, as well as countries in Europe. Vincent Arboleda, UNTV News and Rescue, Philippines.
Hungry goat interns are put to work in New York City to help fight invasive plants. Mirasol Abogadil will tell us why.
24 goats start eating their way through New York City's Riverside Park. The goats get to munch on overgrown brush, and Riverside Park Conservancy doesn't have to dump chemicals on weeds and poison ivy. Riverside Park Conservancy arranged for the goats to be brought to the park in Manhattan from Green Goats Farm, about 100 miles away in Rhinebeck, New York.
So we decided that we were going to invite in a group of 24 goats to help us to clear this area, to give more life to our native trees and plants, and to give us a chance to make it more accessible to the public.
Goats are an ingenious approach to weed removal, harnessing the goats' natural hunger for leafy greens as the primary mechanism behind the task, which traditionally involves pollutant chemicals. They even eat species dangerous to humans like poison ivy.
What's great about the goats is that they are an environmentally friendly way of clearing out invasive plants. You know, frequently you hear use of chemicals and pesticides to be able to clear out invasive plants. Goats, they're just eating, a quarter of their body weight every day. For them, it's like an all-you-can-eat buffet, and it's the ultimate farm to table.
The goats, which come from Green Goats Farm in Rhinebeck, will be munching to their heart's content through August 30. Mirasol Abugadin, UNTV, News and Rescue.
The Commission on Elections has received electoral protests from different parts of the country as of May 24. Meanwhile, the Comelec Bank confirms anew it has yet to release a decision on the petition of former National Youth Commission Chairman Ronald Cardema. April Senadoza explains why.
The Commission on Elections, or Comelec, has received 5 electoral protests as of noon of May 24. In a press briefing on Friday afternoon, Comelec spokesperson James Jimenez said these protests are from Taguig, San Juan, Kalinga, Leyte, and Negros.
This is an incomplete list kasi pumapasok pa rin naman yung mga protest. But as of 12 noon, this is the places that we have.
Meanwhile, the poll body has yet to release its decision on the petition for substitution of former National Youth Commission Chairman Ronald Cardema to be a representative of Duterte Youth Party List. The said party list won during the 2019 midterm polls. According to Jimenez, over 10 oppositions were filed before the poll body against Cardema's substitution bid. Among the groups who filed their oppositions are Millennials PH, Election Watchdog Contra Daya, and other youth leaders.
So kailangan i-address muna yung mga opposition na yon, no? So apparently marami ang nakapag-file ng opposition. As of last count, mahigit 10 ang nag-file ng opposition.
The Comelec official clarified the issue is on Cardema's petition and not the withdrawal of 5 nominees in the party list. Cardema is currently in hot waters after he left his position and filed a certificate of substitution as a first nominee of the Duterte Youth Party List on May 12, allegedly without asking the permission of President Rodrigo Duterte or the Office of the President. Comelec Commissioner Rowena Guanzon questioned Cardema's age, saying Duterte Youth was registered as a youth sector party list. On Cardema's Facebook account, it was listed that his birthday is on April 13, 1986, which makes him 33 years old. However, as defined in Section 9 of the Party List System Act, a nominee in the youth sector must be at least 25 years old and not more than 30 years old on the day of the elections. However, Cardema had claimed the said party list was registered with the poll body to advocate for youth and professional sectors, adding there is no age limit. The poll body has no timeline when it would resolve the petition, as hearings will be conducted on the matter. The agency has 1 month left to decide before the 18th Congress begins on June 30. April Senadoza, UNTV News and Rescue, Manila.
The Commission on Elections, or Comelec, sets June 13 as the deadline of submission of the Statement of Contributions and Expenditures, or SOSE. The poll body said all candidates in the May 13 national and local elections are obliged to submit their SOSE, or the true and itemized statement of all contributions and expenditures in connection with the election, whether they won or lost. A candidate who fails to submit their SOSE may face administrative charges or perpetual disqualification to hold public office. According to Republic Act 7166, Section 14, a candidate must submit their SOSE within 30 days after the day of the election.
However, considering that the last day of filing of SOSE is June 12, which is a holiday, Philippine Independence Day, SOSE can still be submitted on the next following day, the 13th of June 2019.
Incoming party list Representative Nina Taduran denies buying the Anti-Crime and Terrorism Community Involvement and Support, or ACT-CIS party list from its previous owner. Meanwhile, the Commission on Elections wants Congress to amend the party list law. Grace Cassin explains why.
The Anti-Crime and Terrorism Community Involvement and Support, or ACT-CIS, topped among the party list groups in the 2019 midterm elections with more than 2 million votes. But after the proclamation, reports surfaced that the party list was brought from its previous owner. This move, according to election lawyer attorney Emilio Marañon, is prohibited under the law.
Opo, of course, illegal po yan kasi hindi mo dapat ibenta po yung membership or yung slot doon sa list of nominees. It's actually illegal and against contrary to law, contrary to public policy, and even to good morals po. So, klaro-klaro po na pinagbabawal yan. And the moment po na madiskubriyan ng Comelec, that is a ground for the cancellation po ng party list.
But ACT-CIS third nominee, Congresswoman-elect Nina Taduran, denies such report.
So it's not really pinili, it's isinalin or ipinasa yung leadership under the new management from Congressman Sammy Pagdilaw to Congressman Eric Goya.
Meanwhile, political analyst attorney Ed Montayo said the purpose of party list system is not being served now, and added that rich people are in the party list groups nowadays.
The past 2 congresses or 3 congresses, if I'm not mistaken, no? Pag tinignan mo yung list ng net worth ng mga miyembro ng House of Representatives, ang lumalabas na pinakamayaman mga party list representatives pa, which is kind of weird.
For his part, Commission on Elections or Comelec Chairman Sheriff Abbas wants Congress to amend the existing party list law.
Siguro maglalabi din kami na baka pwedeng ayusin naman ng Congress yan.
Among the amendments Attorney Marañon pointed out is on how to choose who are qualified to be a nominee.
Ang unang dapat bibigyan ng pansin dyan is number 1, yung sino ba ang pwedeng sumali sa party list system? Kasi ang batas natin ngayon ay very vague. In other words, medyo malabo kung sino. So ngayon, merong opportunity or na sumali even yung mga malalaking political party, even yung mga mayayaman, yung hindi marginalized at saka hindi underrepresented.
Bayan Muna Party List Representative Carlos Zarate, on the other hand, promised to push for law to amend the party list system in the country.
Nakita naman natin kung paano ang party list system ngayon ay nabalahura na rin.
There are 61 party list representatives that will be part of the 18th Congress. Grace Casin, UNTV News and Rescue.
Several jeepney and bus operators have rolled out the government's public utility vehicle modernization program. Meanwhile, a group of taxi operators is not in favor of the proposed fixed salary system for taxi drivers. Joanna tells us why.
Several modern jeepneys are now plying on the roads of Metro Manila as part of the government's public utility vehicle or PUV modernization program. Apart from jeepneys, public utility buses are also part of the Department of Transportation or DOTR's PUV modernization program. In the previous statement of the DOTR and the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board or LTFRB, public utility buses will also be modernized, and 15-year-old models will be phased out. It was in September last year when the DOTR launched the new models of modernized public utility buses. Like the modern jeepneys, these buses are fully air-conditioned. They come with reclining chairs, CCTV, free Wi-Fi, and automated fare collection system. They have a ramp for the benefit of persons with disability and the elderly.
Itong modernization na to, ang success nito ay hindi lang para sa department. Ang success ng modernization is for the commuters. Commuters that deserves safe, reliable, and environmentally friendly transportation systems.
But the question is, when will passengers enjoy these modern buses? According to Julia De Jesus, the Managing Director of Samahang Transport Operators ng Pilipinas or STOP, several bus operators have rolled out the PUV modernization program, and they are already serving along EDSA and other routes within Metro Manila.
Meron kaming speed limiter, meron kaming CCTV, meron kaming DASCA, meron kaming Wi-Fi, meron kaming GPS, GNSS daw ang tawag dyan. Lahat yan sinusunod namin kasi we cannot refleet our unit without complying with all of these things.
Meanwhile, the DOTR has also released the guidelines for premium taxis. Under the guidelines, premium taxis should be application-based and should also feature the new gadgets required, which are the same with those of the PUV modernization program. Apart from this, taxi drivers will receive monthly salaries and benefits just like regular employees. According to Transportation Secretary Arthur Tugade, this move aims to discipline taxi drivers for them to drive with the safety of their passengers in mind. However, the president of the Philippine National Taxi Operators Association, Attorney Bong Suntay, is not in favor of this proposal. For Suntay, the guidelines given by the DOTR are unrealistic and might be unfair for hardworking taxi drivers.
Pagswelduhan yung driver, now it will not matter kung ilan pasahero yung masisakay nila. Whether isa yung masakay mo o 100, ang sweldo mo remains the same. Kaya ang konsepto ng taxi is rental basis because now it would depend kung gaano kasipag yung driver.
Suntay reiterates the proposal will be a burden for the taxi operators and might result in a fare increase. On the other hand, the DOTR insists they do not mean to burden anyone. The agency said they only wanted to provide proper, safe, and convenient modes of transportation for the riding public. Joanano, UNTV News and Rescue, Quezon City.
Oil companies are set to implement a price rollback on petroleum products next week. According to oil industry players, 40 to 50 centavos per liter will be cut on the prices of some petroleum products. Pump cost downtrends are still due to the collapsing prices in the world market. The Department of Environment and Natural Resources is now pushing for alternative ways in mining to protect the environment in the country. Vincent Arboleda tells us why.
Department of Environment and Natural Resources or DENR Secretary Roy Cimatu will still not allow open-pit mining in the Philippines because of its negative effect on the environment. Instead, the Secretary encourages mining engineers to formulate ways to mine without destroying nature. During the 9th Visayas Mining and Energy Summit today in Iloilo City, Cimatu said they are exploring alternative ways of mining such as surface mining.
As long as you don't destroy it, instead if you are able to get the mineral content, then you resurface it at the same time, make sure that yung mga water na nandun ay hindi pumupunta agad sa unless being treated muna.
In the gathering of more than 200 mining engineers, presenters, and mining stakeholders from various regions in the country, Cimatu mentioned some anomalies they have discovered in mining, like the deforestation of a 5,000-hectare land in Palawan by a mining firm that had been ordered closed by the DENR. According to Cimatu, he wants to push the sustainability of mining so as to protect nature like their advocacy on sustainable tourism on Boracay Island, Manila Bay, and Palawan. The summit also aims to instill in mining stakeholders and engineers the importance of energy and mineral resources in supporting the government's Build, Build, Build program. Cimatu also said the country has enough supply of cement, aggregate materials like sand and stone, and steel bars to support the flagship infrastructure project.
Sufficient naman yan, and in fact, aggregates industry is doing well, and we are allowing the quarrying in some rivers, but we will make sure that hindi masisira yung river. Ibig sabihin, hindi basta-basta kuha-kuha niya, ayusin mo, kanyahin pa rin.
The Environment Secretary is hoping the mining engineers will be able to come up with a way to make mining sustainable to boost the country's economy while protecting the environment. Vincent Arboleda, UNTV News and Rescue, Iloilo.
President Rodrigo Duterte is set to visit Japan next week to attend the 25 Nikkei conference and meet with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. This is the third time the chief executive is visiting Japan. Nikkei Conference on the Future of Asia is an annual meeting of Asian government and business leaders to discuss ideas to the direction of Asia on the economic aspect. Foreign Affairs Assistant Secretary Maynardo Montelegre said President Duterte is set to deliver an address on the conference and will also have a bilateral meeting with Japanese PM Abe. The chief executive is also expected to meet with the Filipino community in Japan.
The president will likely assert Asia's role in charting its own future. even as we affirm the larger international frameworks and mechanisms that have given birth to the Asian century we now enjoy. He will likely also highlight how addressing domestic imperatives provides the conditions by which we will collectively shape Asia's future.
It's amazing to see someone do good to others these days, although some say such people have become rare. But a man in his 20s in the USA began a mission in life to give back to the community by being a vessel of goodness using his lawnmower. Here's why from Nina Armilio.
27-year-old Rodney Smith Jr., who hails from Bermuda and lives in Alabama, is out to spread his mission of goodness. It all began in 2015 when he saw an old man in his neighborhood who was having a hard time mowing his lawn. So he decided to help that person and continued from then on. And as he embarks on his journey, he is off to share his hope to other young men. Thus, he created Racing Man Lawn Care Service. Through this, they get the chance to offer services such as mowing lawns, shoveling snow, raking leaves, and more free of charge, especially for the veterans, the elderly, the disabled, and even single mothers. This is also to take children away from video games and go out there and do something good to others instead. The average cost for lawn care service in the US is $35 or 1,837 pesos. 50 states, 50 lawns. Rodney and over 100 young boys and girls prove their ability to share goodness to the community and mow their way to inspire and touch lives. And just this year, Rodney and his crew started donating $1,000 check to each of their chosen recipients from January to May. The money also comes from people's donation to the crew, and they will just keep going and going with their donations called the Gift of Hope.
You and your family received the Gift of Hope. This is such a blessing.
Racing Men Lawn Care Service has also launched the 50-yard challenge, inviting the young and old alike who would want to contribute to the society by mowing lawns for free. A volunteer gets an orange shirt for 10 lawns, a green shirt for 20, a blue shirt for 30, a red shirt for 40, and a black shirt for 50 lawns. Ultimately, Rodney says he wants to inspire other people to do good to others, if not by mowing lawn, by making difference in other people's lives. Nina Armilio, UNTV, News and Rescue.
To complete the most significant news for the day, Y News continues. Here are the top stories. And for the news abroad, here's Stephanie C. Stephanie C. live from Hong Kong. Good evening, Stephanie.
Good evening, Diego. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has thanked the people of India for giving him a historic mandate of 5 more years in office after a landslide victory in the general election. Kathy Maraos will tell us why.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi dedicated his election win to the people of India during victory speech to Bharatiya Janata Party workers and supporters in New Delhi on Thursday. The dramatic election victory puts Modi's Hindu Nationalist Party on course to increase its majority on a mandate of business-friendly policies and tough stand on national security. In the televised speech, Modi said none of the opposition parties could put forward allegations of corruption in their election campaign against his government.
We can take the country to new heights if we bring back the spirit of the independence movement in 2019 and work towards a developed India by 2024.
The BJP is projected to get about 300 of the 543 seats in the parliament. It is likely to take a larger share of the vote than in the 2014 elections. The main opposition alliance, which is headed by Rahul Gandhi's Congress Party, has admitted defeat. Meanwhile, an Indian defense expert said Pakistan was sending contradictory signals after it conducted a missile test on Thursday, as Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan congratulated Modi for an election victory. Pakistan earlier announced that it had conducted a training launch of a Shaheen-2 surface-to-surface ballistic missile, which it said is capable of delivering conventional and nuclear weapons at a range of up to 1,500 miles.
So it's a contradictory signal. At one point of side, you're trying to extend the hand of friendship, and on the other side, you're telling them that we are standing by and we are in a position to deter any offensive by your side. India has always and every time wanted a dialogue with Pakistan, but we have very clearly made Pakistan aware as to what are our conditions.
Khan's message follows months of tension between the two countries, which came close to war in February over the disputed region of Kashmir, which both sides have claimed since independence from Britain in 1947. Kat Dumaraos, UNTV News and Rescue.
A tornado has killed 3 people in the U.S. state of Missouri, including an elderly couple who was hurled hundreds of feet from their home. All 3 fatalities were in Golden City. Another tornado carved a 3-mile swathe of destruction through the state capital, Jefferson City. It brought the death toll from U.S. Midwest twisters this week to 7. Missouri saw 2 other weather-related deaths earlier this week, along with one in Oklahoma and another in Iowa. The NWS warned that parts of Missouri would continue to see multiple rounds of strong to severe storms through the weekend that could cause rivers to rise. Within 4 months after the worst mining disaster in Brazil buried alive more than 200 people, another community in the southeastern state of Minas Gerais faces being obliterated from the map by a torrent of mining waste. Jovic Burmas will tell us why.
Residents in the Brazilian city of Barão de Cocais are living in the shadow of Vale SA's nearby Gongo Soco mine amid reports that it may soon collapse. The Gongo Soco mine lies about 60 kilometers from where its Brumadinho Dam collapsed, killing more than 230 people. According to reports, 458 residents have already been evacuated from their homes in anticipation. Paulo de Moraes was one of those locals told to leave his home, which he built more than 2 decades ago. He has moved to another property he owns near the city's outskirts, living with his wife in the small farmhouse.
Aí de dia pro outro muda tudo. From one day to the next, everything changed. I've lived here for 22 years. I built my house. I've held my children here. And suddenly, within 5 minutes, we were ripped out by Valle. Ripped out, expelled from our homes.
De Moraes admitted he could be evacuated again and ultimately left with nothing.
If Valle comes here together and tells me that I also need to leave this land, I don't know if I can bear it.
The evacuations for locals such as Paulo de Moraes underlines ongoing concerns about the stability of dams in Brazil's mining heartland of Minas Gerais. Earlier this week, Minas Gerais State Environment Secretary Germano said a dam burst could be triggered by slippage in the embankment at the Gongo Soco mine. The dam holds 6 million cubic meters of mining waste, roughly half the amount that was released when the Brumadinho tailings dam burst in late January. Liquefaction, in which a dam's barrier gets weakened as it turns to water, has been pegged as a likely cause of the Brumadinho collapse. Like Brumadinho, the dam at Gongo Soco has an upstream structure known as the cheapest and least stable type of tailings dam design. Jovic Burmas, UNTV News and Rescue.
A national workers' strike called by Nicaragua's opposition to protest against the government of President Daniel Ortega was partially observed in the country. Beverly Saison will tell us why.
Shops were shuttered and normally busy streets left empty in Nicaragua on Thursday during a 24-hour strike to pressure the government of President Daniel Ortega to release all political prisoners. The opposition National Unity Blue and White Coalition announced the strike earlier this week as they prioritized the release of political prisoners as a condition of dialogue with the government. A list of 300 prisoners was agreed between Ortega's government and the opposition earlier this year.
I support the national strike because I think it's a way of putting the government in a place where it has to do something, where it has to act, where it has to stop repressing the people of Nicaragua.
What we have demanded for more than a year, for elections to be brought forward, for Daniel to be removed from power, for justice to be done for all those killed, and for all that's happened.
Earlier this week, the government reported it had begun the process of freeing another 100 political prisoners. Managua plans to free almost 300 political prisoners by June 18th. The government arrested hundreds of people during violent clashes that first erupted in April 2018 when President Daniel Ortega tried to cut welfare benefits. Ortega has called the protests against him as part of an illegal plot by his adversaries to oust him, while critics have accused him of human rights abuses in the crackdown on dissent. Since the protests against Ortega's government began last year, more than 324 people have died and another 60,000 have gone into exile, according to human rights organizations. Beverly Sison, UNTV News and Rescue.
Chile's 12,000 square kilometer southern Patagonia ice field has split in two and is likely to continue to fracture amid climate change. According to a team of Chilean scientists who were in the region in March, increasing temperatures along the Andes Mountains in southern Chile and Argentina have meant less snow and ice to replenish the region's abundant glaciers. The chunk of ice that split from the main glacier was estimated at 208 square kilometers, a relatively small part of the ice field. And those are the news from the other parts of the globe. Back to you, Diego.
Thank you, Stephanie C., reporting live from Hong Kong. Many entertaining video of babies are viral on social media nowadays. Let's take a look at some of those videos to cap off this work week as Monoxon reports.
Everyone loves babies. It is innate in us that whenever we see a baby, our hearts just lips a mile. They also remind us of the babies that we are deep inside. Babies are cute, even when they are peacefully sleeping, crying, eating. They are cuddly in just about everything they do. Here are some of the baby videos that have gone viral on social media. A video from Ernpril Frankeli shows a baby tantalized by the food man beside her is eating. Watch as the baby persevere to reach for the delicious food. A 3-year-old baby shows off her drumming skills. In a post by Ferdy Gomez, watch how baby Plet beat the drums with the right timing. Warning to those who love to play with kids. Choose who you want to portray wisely, because you might experience what this lady suffered. This poor kid cannot take the confusion when her dad's twin paid a visit to their house. Watch this.
Who's that? Who's that? Yeah. Who's that?
What's amazing with kids is they can maintain their happy mood even when feeling sleepy. Can you even cry and maintain a cute face? Watch this. Let's look back to the video of two kids that went viral 2 years ago, when their daddy, Professor Robert Kelly, was interviewed regarding the South Korea issue. While responding to the question during a live on-cam interview on TV, the dad forgot to lock the door. His eldest daughter entered the room and went beside him during the interview. But wait, there's more. Watch closely. The youngest, riding a walker, also entered the office. But don't worry, because mommy came to the rescue while sliding on the floor.
My apologies.
What's this going to mean for the region?
My apologies.
It is acceptable that although kids can get under our skin sometimes, they are the joy of our hearts and a God-given treasure. Mon Hokson, UNTV News and Rescue.
And those are the reasons behind the news this May 24, 2019. On behalf of Alex Baltazar, I'm Angelo Castro III. And before we close, we will recap with today's significant sound bites. Because we need to know, we will always ask why. Good evening.
Hindi naman natin inaalis ang posibilidad na kapag ang mga ebidensya ay talagang matibay at meron tayong kasong maisasampa at mag-a-apply itong si Alias Bikoy bilang isang witness, hindi natin maialis ang posibilidad na maaaring maging witness nga siya. Talagang kailangan na maging witness siya dahil siya po yung nag-aakusa dito sa mga pinangalanan niyang mga personalidad.
Kailangan i-address muna yung mga opposition na yun. No? So, apparently, marami ang nakapag-file ng opposition. As of last count, mahigit 10 ang nag-file ng opposition.
Ang unang dapat bibigyan ng pansin dyan is number one, yung sino ba ang pwedeng sumali sa party list system? Kasi ang batas natin ngayon ay very vague. In other words, medyo malabo kung sino. So ngayon, merong opportunity or na sumali even yung mga malalaking political party, even yung mga mayayaman, yung hindi marginalized at saka hindi underrepresented.
Magswelduhan yung driver. Now, it will not matter kung ilan pasahero yung masisakay nila. Whether isa yung masakay mo o 100, ang sweldo mo remains the same. Kaya ang konsepto ng taxi is rental basis because now it would depend kung gaano kasipag yung driver.
I will shortly leave the job that it has been the honour of my life to hold. The second female Prime Minister, but certainly not the last. I do so with no ill will, but with enormous and enduring gratitude to have had the opportunity to serve the country I love.